Have you ever noticed? The more you make yourself available, the less people seem to value you. It's not your imagination. When you stop being constantly available, everything changes. Today, we're going to talk about why and how this small shift can quietly rebuild your life. Section 1. The pain of always being available. We grow up believing that love means sacrifice, that if you care, you should always say yes. Always answer the call. Always show up even when you're tired. Even when your heart feels heavy. Even when it's not fair. You tell yourself, this is what good people do. But little by little, you start to notice something. The more you give, the more people expect. The more available you are, the more invisible you feel. The less they seem to appreciate you. You start to wonder, am I only loved when I'm useful? It's exhausting. It's lonely. It's confusing. You end up running on empty, and yet somehow it still feels like you're not enough. Section 2. Why this happens. Carl Jung once said, people will do anything no matter how absurd to avoid facing their own soul. When you're always available, you make it easy for others to avoid facing their responsibilities, their growth, their discomfort, instead of doing their inner work. They lean on you. And over time, without meaning to, you become a crutch, a distraction, an emotional buffer. And here's the hardest truth. When people don't have to work for your energy, they start to devalue it. Not because they are cruel, but because human nature tends to take for granted what feels unlimited. Think about water from a faucet. You trust that it will always flow. You don't stop to appreciate every drop, but find yourself in a desert. And every sip feels sacred. Your presence, your energy, your kindness, they are sacred. But only when they are not endless. Section 3. What happens when you step back? Something almost magical happens when you stop being constantly available. At first, there's discomfort. Some people will get upset. Some will accuse you of changing. Some will disappear. And that's painful. It's tempting to rush back, to prove you're still good, to explain yourself, to overcorrect. But if you stay steady, if you let the silence stretch a little longer, you will see the truth emerge. The ones who only loved your availability will drift away. The ones who valued your heart will stay. Maybe quieter, maybe different, but real. And most importantly, you will meet a version of yourself that you forgot existed. The version of you who rests without guilt, who gives because they choose to, not because they have to, who no longer measures their worth by their usefulness. Section 4. Setting gentle boundaries. Setting boundaries isn't about building walls. It's about building windows and doors. Open when you wish. Closed when you need. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to explain. Change often begins silently. It looks like taking longer to respond. Saying, I'm not available right now. Choosing rest over one more obligation. Listening to your inner no without drowning it in guilt. At first, it feels awkward. You might feel selfish. You might worry you're letting people down. But with every small boundary you set, you tell your nervous system, I am safe to choose myself. And your body, your mind, your spirit begin to heal. Section 5. A light story. Imagine a lighthouse, strong, silent, unmoving. The lighthouse doesn't chase ships. It doesn't run up and down the coast trying to convince sailors it's important. It just stands, bright, steady, available but not chasing. Ships adjust their course for the lighthouse, not the other way around. When you stop chasing, when you stop overextending, the right people will find you. Because real connection doesn't require you to lose yourself, it only asks you to be yourself. Section 6. Tiny first steps. So where do you begin? You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. Start small. Start soft. Maybe today. You don't answer that text right away. Maybe today. You give yourself permission to say, I'll get back to you tomorrow. Maybe today. You let someone be a little disappointed without rushing to fix it. Every time you choose yourself, you are planting a seed of self-respect, It may feel fragile at first, it may feel uncomfortable, but over time, it grows deep roots. And eventually, you stop apologizing for needing space, you stop explaining your worth. You simply live it, quietly, steadily, beautifully. You are not here to be available to everyone. You are not here to burn yourself out to keep others warm. You are not here to be everything, to everyone. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to choose yourself. You are allowed to shine without chasing. And when you do, everything changes. Not because you forced anyone to change, but because you finally honored who you were meant to be. If something in your heart stirred while listening, if some small part of you whispered, "This is what I need," maybe take a moment. Share it in the comments. No pressure, no judgment. Just a quiet place for honest hearts.